yeah, I was.
Calling somebody
watching,
while they're taking a shit is one of the funniest things to me because they're all like, I'll call you back.
Well, that's weird because my brother and my best friend, like, whenever I call them, they absolutely don't give a fuck, so they'll just end up talking to me anyway while you hear, like, a casual, like, ka-thunk or
Oh no.
a little fart coming out. They absolutely do not care.
Oh no.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though, because I'm calling them while they're taking a shit.
Still though.
Yeah, check. Yeah, I was watching your guys' recent podcast, and that looked fun as well. I'm sad I missed out on that one.
No, yeah.
Because I would have.
Sorry about that. I was
Yeah.
on the phone with my mom and my nephew.
Oh, okay. We thought you were taking a shit.
Remember last year when I was living in Athens, I had the house with my cousin and my nephew, and when I moved out and moved up here to Chattanooga, he refused to go home for like a week because Uncle Chris wasn't going to be there.
Oh, okay.
So whenever I get to FaceTime with him, I try to just remind him that a man in his life loves him, kind of thing.
10-4. Gandhi, this is Audit Gandhi, and
Hello.
Good to hear your accent again.
so we're gonna be.
Yeah, we've played
Oh,
before.
sorry. Oh yeah, that's right.
No, we've never been on a stream before, but I
Yeah,
followed,
you have.
Wait, which one did we play together?
So it was when it was Rocket
Was it
League.
Rocket League?
Yeah, it was Rocket League. It was when you guys yeah.
Damn, Stevie, you right.
Yeah.
So this
I'm
is
gonna use both of y'all on Rocket League today. I was waxing out on these some bitches, and then I
Hold on,
ended up
bear
going
back.
to a tournament carrying a 3v3 tournament, and the whole time I was like, damn, where's Timbo Flex? Where's my other buddies? Where's Scooby?
It does tend to get like that. Like last night, I was trying to rank up in Rocket League, and I dropped one rank down on my own. I'm like, hey,
feel like
where
I'm
is
getting drop
everyone?
ranked. I'm like, somehow I ended up back in bronze. I don't know if it's like a season reset, but like I've over 12 wins positive, and I'm still ranked bronze on 2v2.
Oh, hey, by the way, Chris, are you drinking tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask that you don't drink during the podcast because you do get a little rambly and it's hard to shut you up sometimes.
That's just a general me thing. But
Yeah.
I get
So this is the start of episode 3. I won the last game, and for anybody that has not watched the podcast before, this is the Timbo Show, and this is Hungry Gandhi and Audit. They're the co-hosts. They're the contestants today. I won the last game show, and so I'm the host today, and I'm tasked with coming up with the game. And I have learned something over the past 2 episodes. Let me stop this music. No music during the podcast because it totally ruins it. So I might add some like beats later on, but I'm not gonna play music during the actual podcast recording because that kind of overdrives the entire thing.
Timbo, I will not have any music playing, but so we can. I don't know if we're already on the podcast, but can we test my games to make sure that none of my volume overruns anything?
So your volume on your side doesn't matter because I've already brought you down to 72% on my side, and so I can adjust the volume from my side, so it's all good.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I don't fuck with your thing while I'm playing my games.
No worries, and don't worry about saying anything that like would ruin the podcast because I'm gonna go and edit out anything I don't want in there. And like Mitch, I've even rematched the order of what's been said before. I did that on episode 2 because
I noticed on episode 2 you were really quick on the bleeps.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I honestly just did the bleeps just because I thought it was funny.
I also kind of wondered if once I got invited to this podcast, it was like, hey,
The
introduce
bleep, bleep, the bleep, 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 bleep. But yeah, so the way that I want to structure the podcast is going to be intro, to where we intro the people, because it's not going to be the same people on the podcast all the time. I'm going to be on the podcast every time, but it's going to rotate throughout the community, which I think is unique with our podcast compared to other ones. And then it's going to go small talk, and that can go anywhere between 5 and 35 minutes. You know, it could be any amount. It could overrun the entire episode, and we never get to the game.
Yeah, I did like that. When I listened to forget your name. Start with a K. The previous
Kenzie.
Steve had.
Kenzie.
Yeah. Her talk about when she was working with her students and stuff. That kind of hit.
The erector of justice.
The social worker, the one nice person in America that still exists.
And then, so after the small talk, then we get to the game, and then after the game, the outro you all have to do either a loser or a winner speech. And so both of y'all get a chance to.
AI thing, or is it just going to be a battle, like rap battle?
So it's unique. Every single episode's unique. I can do that if I want, but I do have a game already set. But we can get to that in a minute. I want to
a lot of Eminem, so we can throw down like mom spaghetti if you want.
Yeah. Audit, how have you been? What you been up to lately?
I think I've almost completed my first song, and
Really?
I just need to edit it. The lyrics, like I got the chord like all done, but I need to like switch it up a little bit. That way it's not repetitive. But yeah, I've just
Would you mind sharing
the
that
lyrics.
when we're done?
It's kind of depressing.
What's the song about? Like what kind of song is it?
I take medication for that. Fucking depress me.
So it's a song because I was like laying in bed playing a song, and then like it started getting cold, but it kind of reminded me of the times when my uncle was still around, and he was just 2 years older than me, and we would always like play games and all that, and like have good times when he was alive. But now, yeah.
So this sounds more of a nostalgia than depression. I don't think that's something that would hurt
So
feelings.
it's kind of
It kind of sparked the memories that a lot of us have.
So it's kind of like a tribute.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of like a tribute.
Okay, cool. I'm learning how.
I'd love to hear something like that. I have family members that I've lost even in recent years. I mean, seems like every year another family member gets shot or messed up some kind of way.
Okay.
I'd love to listen to your song.
Yeah, I think if you can, if you want to share it, because it is kind of a personal. Hold on, one thing, Chris. With the podcast, you got to let other people speak, because I'm in the middle, like talking, and then like we'll take turns talking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, your host.
Well, it just whenever someone's speaking, it's kind of like their time, and then we just kind of rotate. That way, everyone it's like an even amount. And it's not just like one person. But if you feel comfortable sharing that, I'd be wanting to listen to it. But if it is kind of personal, so if you're not wanting to keep it to yourself, then it's pretty cool that you're doing a song.
Agreed.
Well, okay. I will share it with you guys, but I won't share it with the podcast. So I'll share it like at the end of the stream or something like that.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, I'll probably be releasing it.
That's what I meant as well. Just not share it on like the live stream or anything. Just if you wanted to share it with us, I would be happy to listen.
So one thing, Gandhi, that because I'm gonna try to remember to call you Gandhi instead of your real name, just because this is public. If somebody asked me what you did for work, I still wouldn't be able to specifically answer them. I know that you do construction, but you're more of an administrative. What do you do for work?
I mean, this might take a second.
Yeah.
I'm what's called a commercial superintendent. If you've ever been like on a job site and watched a giant building being constructed, the guy that wears the white construction hat, that's me.
The white
I
construction hat.
oversee the job site. Everybody that works on the job site, the electricians, the HVAC, the plumbers, the framers, the drywalls, anybody that works on the job site, I'm the guy that overwatches all of them. It's my job to administrate and make sure that the building gets done the way it's supposed to be through all of these other, what we call vendors or trades.
Okay.
So instead of like being a master electrician that just does electricity, or being the master plumber that just does underground and runs our gas lines, it's my job to watch over all of those guys and to make sure they all get it done to what the city, the state, and the federal laws are for safety and compliance, to make sure that this is a building that when people walk in to shop at a Marshall's, the building doesn't fall down, catch on fire, and kill them.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's pretty cool.
I have to oversee the entire construction, not just one aspect. Which I was fortunate to get in, having done a lot of these things to pay my way through college, is sort of how I have all this experience. Given that I went to school for behavioral economics, but like a lot of millennials, I don't do a job within the degree that I actually got to.
Okay.
Though it is applicable, but now I'm more of a construction management instead of behavioral economics, as I went to school for it.
Well, nice. And Audit, what do you do again?
I plant. I plant trees.
Okay. That's the most economically friendly job I've ever heard of in my entire life. Like, yeah, I'm a professional tree planter. What do you do for a living? Oh, you burn down trees? Got it.
I'm just a guy that plays music every now and then. So that's depressing, but
okay. So if you guys want to start the game,
you're just a guy against women. Say what you mean, bro.
If you guys want to start the game, we can. So I'm ripping this from another person's idea, but I really want to do it. I call it worse, worser, and kind of worse. And basically, the game is, and there's going to be points, and you guys are going to be competing against each other, but we're going to take turns who's going first. And so I basically give a scenario, and then the person that goes first has to give something that's worse, but as close to just only a little bit worse. And then the other person has to give me something that is in between those two. And so, for example, if I said stubbing your toe, and then Audit said chopping your hand off, so yeah, exactly. That's a large range. And so if you said getting punched in the face, then you would win because you thread the needle and you hit the nail on the head. Now, if you said getting
stubbing your toe, but I have a hangnail.
Yeah, and if you would have said getting shot in the head, then you would have overdone it, because I'd rather get my hand chopped off.
Degrees of escalation.
I'd rather get my hand chopped off than getting shot in the head. And so the goal of the second person is to thread the needle between the two. And then the goal of the first person is try to get as close to the original scenario as possible, so that needle hole is super small. So it's hard. And I'm going to... Hold on.
I want to give you a worst case scenario that you couldn't make it worse, but less inconvenient.
Say that again.
Like, I would want to give you a situation where it's as bad as it could be, but you want to make it slightly more inconvenient than what I said.
Yes, exactly. So that way, like, if you went first, then Audit wouldn't be able to really think of a scenario, because the way I'm going to decide is which one I would not rather happen to me. And so you got to also know your audience. Yeah, so you got to also know your audience. And so I'm the one that's going to be judging this. And so if someone said getting a hand chopped off, and then the other person said getting shot in the head, I'm going to say, well, I would rather get my hand chopped off than be shot in the head. So getting shot in the head is going over the limit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would be quick and over.
Right. So while that happens, or while you guys think about that, let me take a break for a second so I can flip my chicken. I decided very irresponsibly to start cooking right before I did this.
I don't know if that's what he means, but I really hope that's a euphemism.
By the way, I got a question. What was the topic?
I don't think we've been told yet.
Oh. Oh, well, never mind, because I had a question about
we can against each other on whatever topic he picks.
Yeah. No, it was because I heard some.
You have ADHD because this is about to be a battle.
Okay, I'm back. All right. So first scenario.
I already had some questions on what the, I guess, specifications are.
Okay, go ahead.
You were away when he asked.
Audit, what was your question?
Yeah. What was the topic?
Okay, so worse, worser, and kind of worse. And so I'll explain it again real quick, but in a nutshell. Basically, the first person, I'm going to give a scenario, and I'm going to give different scenarios each round. And then the first person, your guys are going to take turns going first. This is not a speed round kind of thing. The first person is going to say something that is worse. So a scenario that's worse than the scenario that I gave. So if I said stub my toe, and then you would say get punched in the face. Gandhi would then have to thread the needle. Gandhi would then have to thread the needle and try to think of a scenario that's between stubbing your toe and getting punched in the face in severity, so that he's safe inside the middle ground. Now, if he said get shot in the head, then he overshot it, because I'd rather get punched in the face than get shot in the head. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Two things, just again to clarify on the rules. One, you being the judge for this.
Yes.
Do you decide when something is like, okay, that's too far, like this is off, the game's over? So like he says shot in the head, would that be you saying like, okay, that's too far, like you've officially lost?
Yes, and there's going to be rounds, so each round is going to have their own case of scenarios
in increments as far as we want to go.
You can, yes, but it's up to my discretion to pick which one is at what severity. Does that make sense?
When it's too far.
So know your audience. I'm the audience. And just think of what I would not want happen to me. Does that make sense? Because some people might think of being punched in the face as like the worst thing in the world.
And second, just this being the podcast thing, get sticking with my name so that I don't come across as biased.
Yeah. So if I ever say Chris, I will edit. I know, but if I ever say Chris, just trust that I'm going to edit it out, and I'm going to be frugal about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course you will, but just that way it doesn't seem like it's biased.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. So, all right, here, start of the round.
Well.
Just so I'm proving that this is not biased, I'll just going first.
Well, if anything, he's probably going to be more punishing to me because he knows me more.
All right, so
I honestly might get picked on.
So the scenario is getting fired from your job.
Any job.
Well, the job that you currently have. That's why I asked what you guys do for work.
That works.
Okay.
Getting fired from the job that we have.
Yes. And so getting fired from
remotely audit, because neither one of us know anything about how each other's jobs work.
Hold on. Please don't cut me off. All right. So getting fired from your job, audit, name a scenario that is worse and try to make it as close as possible so that Gandhi can't thread the needle.
Wait, it's something that's worse than getting fired from your job?
Yes.
Or
so it has to be okay. So it has to be worse than getting fired from your job, but try not to make it too much worse, because if Gandhi,
Worse than getting fired from your job, or a worse way to get fired from your job?
no, just the scenario is getting fired from your job.
Okay, so specific to how you would get fired on your job, the worst way you could have that happen.
No. The scenario is getting fired from your job. Okay, think of something worse than getting fired from your job.
All right, I think I got it. Go ahead,
Okay.
Audit.
Does it still
Okay.
have to? Does it still have to like be job related?
No, not at all. It does not have to be
Okay.
related at all.
I
Okay,
mean, buying
sweet.
hookers to get you fired from being
Being
a cop.
broke.
Being broke. Okay. So,
Being broke?
and oh, by the way, if you undershoot, in my opinion, then you lose automatically.
Yeah,
So-
I've already got one. All right, being
So-
broke but owe alimony.
So you made a scenario that's worse than audits, and so you lose. And so what you're wanting to
Wait,
do,
it had to be worse.
no, it has to be worse than what I said, but not worse than what audit said. So you're trying to thread the needle in between the in between the two scenarios. So
I thought I had to take his scenario but make it slightly worse.
right, no, you're taking my scenario. So the first person takes my scenario and makes it slightly worse. The second person tries to go in between the two,
So it's got to be worse than Tim's, but
less worse than audits.
better than, yeah, better than mine.
Right. And so in order for the second person to win, you have to make a scenario that's in between the two. So like
So you're
he
just
said
a
being
job.
broke. I said the scenario was getting fired from your job. And
Yeah,
then he said
his was,
being broke.
and then mine was owing alimony.
He said being broke and owing alimony, which is worse than audits. And so you overshot, and so you did not thread the needle.
So
Does
how
that-
would I win?
You thread the needle. You go in between. So you go,
What's worse than owing child support after being broke and losing your job?
so we're not continuing the scenario. Let me give one more example. Let's say, well, hopefully you learn as we go. Round two, getting punched in the face.
Maybe I'm speaking from my parental experience, but
So the second scenario is getting punched in the face. Gandhi.
So, if you were to lose your job and then you were broke, but then you got punched in the face, that would be okay.
Okay, so the scenarios have nothing to do with each other. They are their own existences.
What
For-
need a basis to build this off of? Otherwise, I'm not gonna know
I
how to
think-
game this.
I think you're
Game.
overthinking this. So
You know me, I'm gonna do it.
yes. So okay, this is the game, Gandhi. Listen very closely and do not think of words while I'm talking, because I know that's why you missed this. All right.
You lost me at don't think of words.
I'm going to give a scenario. Okay.
Yeah.
My scenario is now being punched in the face. That is the scenario of worse. And then
Can they do a practice round?
hold on, stop talking. And then player one, the person that goes first, then gives a scenario that's worse than being punched in the face. So let's say getting
It's not punched in the face, but
no,
or punched in the face.
This is not-
Then if
no, they have no. You could say getting sued.
another unrelated scenario.
It could be related, it could be unrelated. That's up to you. Let's say the player one is saying getting sued is worse than being punched in the face, which I agree
Okay,
with that. And so
I
the
think I realized I messed up. Like what I thought is that if you lost your job, but then this on top of losing
No.
your job,
so
not a different scenario that's slightly worse, but
No.
also more.
holy shit, there's gonna be a lot of editing in this.
Okay. All right, I think I'll follow you now.
Okay, and then
I
player
thought we were doing like a Jenga tower.
Gandhi,
like,
I
half-
really need you to stop talking for a moment so I can finish explaining this. So
Yeah, that's my bad. My
Oh,
bad, bro.
okay, so I said getting punched in the face. Player one says getting sued. Getting sued is worse. I agree that getting sued, as the host and the judge, I agree that getting sued is worse than getting punched in the face. So that person gets a point. And then, or that person continues the game. And then player 2 is like, okay, what is between getting punched in the face and getting sued? Let's see. How about getting fired? And don't think of this as a relation to the first round. It is not. Let me change that because I know it's going to confuse you. What's in between? What's in between getting punched? Shut up. What's in between getting punched in the face and getting sued? How about
getting hit while jaywalking?
Okay, there we go. And then you would successfully thread the needle, and I'm like, okay, he successfully thread the needle. He wins that round. And so it's player 1's job to make such a small margin that player 2 overshoots.
Okay, so we're pretty much playing like liars, that kind of thing. All right, I thought that we had to build on what the last person said.
Okay, I understand. I think you understand. Audit, do you understand?
Yeah,
if you don't understand by now, then good luck, dude.
I did. We build on top of that, but make it slightly worse.
We will be continuing on whether you understand or not. From now on, I'm speaking to both of you.
Roger.
Okay. All right. So how about this? Let's restart. No one has points right now.
Pick us a new starting point.
Okay. All right. So this is called worse, worser, and kind of worse. All right. So I'm going to give the first scenario. And Audit, it's your turn to go first.
Yes.
So the scenario is getting slapped in the face.
Getting punched in the face.
Okay. Gandhi, can you fit a scenario?
By a cop.
So, okay, hold on. I'm not sure. Let me see. Getting slapped in the face, getting punched in the face, getting punched in the face by a cop.
If you never been to Tallahassee, you know how closely tied those things can be.
Yes, but I think that getting punched in the face is worse than just getting punched in the face by a cop is worse than just getting punched in the face, because
so I overshot.
You overshot, because there, in my mind, there's nothing that you can't fight back. If you get punched in the face by a cop, you can't fight back because they're gonna be like, you punched a cop.
Yeah, I think he has a good argument on this one.
Okay, next scenario.
All right, I lost. Out at 1 point.
Next scenario. You have been playing Red Dead Redemption, or your favorite long game, for a year. You have gotten every single trophy, and then your girlfriend or significant other then deletes that game to download SpongeBob the game, and it deletes it in the cloud. Oof. So there's no memory of anything you've ever done, all the pelts, all the extra achievements.
Do you have a point?
That is the scenario. Gandhi, you go first. Try to make a slim margin. Go.
What is the question?
So
how do I deal with it? How do I address her with it?
No, there's no scenario, or there's no question. The scenario is your favorite game and its save data got deleted, and you've been working on it for a year. You've gotten all the trophies. It got deleted. That's the worst. That's the worst case scenario, or that is the worst.
What is my response?
Escalate. So make a scenario, and it does not have to be game related. It doesn't have to be. It can be completely. You could say a meteor smashes into Earth, because that would make a very wide margin. But don't like.
I've already got it, bro.
All right, go for it.
I changed my locks.
That you do not understand this game. Forget.
Locks on my doors.
How is that a worse scenario?
Because you can't do it again.
No, Andy, forget about the girlfriend and the game, make a
Wait,
different
you're the one that
scenario.
At the start of the conversation.
I know they are not. Can I call you stupid? Can I do this? And you not get mad at me? Is it understandable?
She's the one that deleted my fucking account for Red Dead to change it to SpongeBob.
Oh my lord. Okay. They aren't. So when you are creating a scenario, you're trying to make a scenario that's worse than my scenario.
So you want me to come up with something worse than that?
Completely unrelated. Yes. That's the game. And then the second person tries to make something worse that's less worse than yours, but more worse than mine.
Okay. She 100%ed SpongeBob before I 100%ed my Red Dead account she deleted.
Forget about the game and the girlfriend. Make a completely unrelated scenario, please. Because I don't think you understand. Forget about, you're not allowed to say girlfriend, game, SpongeBob, or Red Dead Redemption. Nothing game related.
She left my socks in the dryer.
There is no she. Well, there can be if you want, but you can say get hit by a car right now, and that would be valid. Does that make sense?
We'll leave it with the girlfriend thing. Since she already deleted my account and plays my video games, she did not dry my socks, so now I have damp socks the next day.
I would say that is not worse than my scenario. So Audit gets another point.
God damn it. Audit, you aren't even trying and you're still winning. I hate how sexy your accent is.
Okay, scenario number 3.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe I'm too bad at these games, or maybe your games just suck.
No. Listen, I need you to hear me. I need you to hear me right now.
This is a lot of fun.
All you're trying to do is make a scenario.
I'm so fucking frustrated without dating somebody.
All you're supposed to do is make a scenario. It can be completely unrelated. Do not build on the scenario I made, by the way. There is no. This is not. What's it called?
You're really misunderstanding what object permanence is.
There is no object permanence. This is not yes and. This is not anything like that. I just want you to make a scenario that is worse than the scenario that I made. And then if you are man number 2, you are trying to fit in between the two scenarios.
You know, how about this next one? You let object go first, and then let him decide whether my response is worse or not.
Scenario number 3. So you all okay, so you're cooking dinner and you burn it. That's the whole thing. That's the scenario. Audit. Go.
Wait, so your scenario was cooking dinner and it got burnt?
Yes. I'm going very low impact right now.
Crashing your car without insurance.
Oh, damn. That is a very wide margin. Are you okay? All right. Gandhi, yours.
You're a yellow card him on that one. We went from cooking dinner to wrecking your car.
Right. Without insurance. Jesus Christ. Okay, Gandhi.
Yeah. So it's so that. Yeah.
All right. No, don't flag him. Let me run this.
Wait. How is there a yellow card? This Audit did well. He did what he was supposed to do.
I thought it was supposed to be a slight margin, not from burning dinner to wrecking your car.
Well, you can't flag him. That was his choice to do a large margin.
I mean,
that's good. I got this.
Okay, all right.
Getting drunk and losing a street fight.
You know what? I would rather get drunk and lose a street fight than wreck my car without insurance. Absolutely.
Well,
Gandhi?
I've seen the car you drive, so I get mine.
Gandhi, you get a point. Your first point. Streamers at air horns. Bow, 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 bow.
Me and you have both been in both of those situations, and I know which one.
Yeah. I've been in many a street fights.
Motherfucker.
I think you understand the game now.
I think I'm finally caught on.
Nice. Okay, so the score is 2-1. Audit is up. All right, next scenario. Your house burns down. You have insurance. Everyone's safe, but your house burns down. Gandhi, give me a worse scenario, but only slightly worse. Or as large a margin as you want. I think that helped you yesterday, or not yesterday, last round, because you're like, I can thread that needle.
I'm gonna do a build on, like you've yelled at me for. Your new house is in the Gulf of Mexico.
Like in the ocean?
Where hurricanes happen all the goddamn time.
Are you saying that your new house is in the center of the Gulf of Mexico, like is in the ocean?
Oh, sure. Like in Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
And,
Well, I wouldn't say that's worse. Yeah.
it's slightly better, but it's not better than what you just went through. You asked me to thread the needle. It's slightly better.
No.
You have it
No.
now, but
I'm
it's
gonna.
also in hurricane territory.
Okay. So you are man 1. Okay. Man's 2 job is to thread the needle. Your job is to create the
I made
needle.
it easy for him.
No. You did not do a worse scenario than me. I would say that you have a house that didn't get burnt down. And just the fact that you live in Louisiana. I'm sorry, everybody that's listening to this in Louisiana.
Having a new house that's also about to get fucking demolished is just as bad.
Wait. Okay. So you're saying that
Again,
you
living in the Gulf where you have lost your house, but you're also moved into a brand new house that's about to get demolished during hurricane season.
are you saying it will absolutely get demolished?
Have you ever lived in the Gulf?
Yes, I was in Florida. We lived in Florida.
I used to do hurricane relief for these houses. These shits get demolished yearly. All right,
Well,
you know what?
I'll
take
allow you to
I'll just say,
change.
If you want to allow that, I'll say your car got stolen.
Your car got stolen. Okay.
How about that?
Shit.
Does that make it easier?
Hold on. Do I want my house to burn down or do I want my? That's still not worse.
If your house was burned down, where the fuck are you living? But in your car.
All my stuff's in my house though. I'd rather my car get stolen than my house.
Not anymore. Your house burned down.
Audit, you got another point.
You don't own a goddamn thing anymore.
Scenario number 4. Audit, you're going first on this one.
I
Okay.
didn't get mad because I'm right.
You made Gandhi, you're making this podcast funny for reasons I was not expecting it to be funny for.
Don't get me delivered as shit, bro.
the amount of frustration coming from both of our brains.
I'm gonna burn down my own house after this podcast is over. That's how mad I am.
Okay, new scenario.
I'm gonna be living in my car going, I'm threading the needle, Tim.
So, new scenario. I think you've got, by the way, I think you've got player 2, like turn 2 down. It's just turn 1, I think, is what I want you to pay attention to what Audit does. So, new scenario. You really have to take a shit. You just ate Taco Bell. It turned into diarrhea, but you're driving. You're on the highway. There's nowhere to stop for 30 miles. That's the scenario. And that's the amount of worseness or badness that Audit now has to escalate. So, the scenario is, again, you have to take a shit. It's diarrhea. It's coming fast. You haven't shit yourself yet, but you are panicking. You know those panic shit sweats that you get from like diarrhea gut? Yeah, but there's nowhere to stop. You're on a highway in Texas. Okay. Audit.
You didn't have
Escalate.
to throw Texas into it, but
Oh, what's worse than that? Fuck.
That's pretty bad. So I went from
it's pretty bad.
I went from you burnt your dinner to diarrhea shits in the middle of the highway in Texas.
Again, you could have just summed that all up by saying the words Taco Bell.
I would say, what's worse than that? That would be. Is there a forfeit?
No, there's no forfeit. And remember, it can be completely unrelated. It should be completely unrelated. Give me a scenario that is worse than that.
Okay. I would say someone posting an embarrassing video of you.
How embarrassing! Give me specifics.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask that.
Is this like
a little bit on that one?
Is this like you being weird at a party, or is it porn tapes? Like, what's going on here? Because that matters.
Is this that you shook hands with a senator that you don't agree with? Like, I mean, like, how embarrassing are we talking?
I'm gonna say, as in, dick
I mean,
pics
I don't know we're not related, and I think that's fair. But I'm gonna ask that it's porn.
Audit. Repeat that.
I'm gonna say, dick pics have been sent to people.
Who?
Friends, family.
Okay. So your dick pics have been sent to friends and family, and they know it's you, or is it just your dick pics and it's anonymous?
Yeah, it's got like a title above, definitely indicating that it's you.
Tim's dick pics. Got it. To all my friends and family. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Gandhi. Thread the needle. I would say that's worse than having diarrhea shits in the middle of the highway, or about to have diarrhea shits in the middle of the highway.
How confident are you about your dick? But
I don't want to be sent to my mom. Like, goddamn.
If my mom
exactly.
My dick should be like, yeah, I made that boy.
I don't want my coworkers, my clients, and all that. Slightly worse than my scenario, less worse than Audit's scenario.
Worse than yours, but less than his?
Yes, that's what threading the needle is.
So somewhere between crashing a car with no insurance and
No. That was last round. My scenario is diarrhea shits. Like you have Taco Bell and you've got diarrhea coming. It hasn't happened yet, but you got those Taco Bell sweats. You got the diarrhea sweats, and there's nowhere to stop for miles. And then porn dick pics being sent to all your friends and family, titled like your name.
Having the same text message pictures, but it involves a zoo animal.
Oh.
Wait, are you saying bestiality?
Inappropriate pictures with animals. Everybody.
How inappropriate?
Oh. So you're saying instead of dick pics, it's dick pics and bestiality?
I don't know what you Google search, but somewhere in that middle.
Yeah. So I would much rather everyone be sent my dick pics than everyone being sent videos or pics of me screwing a donkey. Like that's.
Night before he died.
You said whatever makes me in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna need a little bit expounding on this. What specifically was yours again, Gandhi?
Me and something between Narnia and Jesus, but it involved a penguin.
So wait, it's not like porn. It's just like all my friends and family are being sent like seductive photos, and there's like an animal like on my chest or something, or what's going on here?
Now, I mean sexually explicit things, but I work at a zoo.
Sexually explicit things but work at a zoo. Are you saying I'm fucking these animals? Is that what you're saying?
It depends on how you interpret the pictures, bro.
Well, I would rather
I'm
the
not
dick
gonna go
pics
to
be
jail
sent.
over a podcast.
I'm going to say that I would
And I'm
rather.
not saying this is from experience. I'm just like hypothetically, what if this happened?
I would say that that's worse than audits, so I would not say that thread the needle. So audit, you get another point.
But, you know, I feel like this is just therapy, but I'm getting blamed for it and losing at the same time.
So we're at 4 audit, 1 Gandhi.
One for me.
All right, we're gonna give one more, and then we're gonna take a small break so I can get some kratom. All right, so here's a scenario, and Gandhi, you're gonna go first. So this is you're trying to make a worse scenario, but only slightly worse. So the audit can't fit in between. And so the scenario is you're in the zombie apocalypse and you have run out of food. And everyone in your compound is thinking about cannibalism as an option, and you are the fattest one. That's the scenario. And you're worried.
Ladies first.
No.
So pretty much being an emergency food for the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, you're in a cannibalism is an option because everyone doesn't want to die kind of scenario. You've been pushed that far, and things have happened to the community to where they're like, okay, cannibalism, we're not gonna say no, but we're trying to do everything in our power to not. You finally ran out of food. It's day 30 where people are starting to die. You're the fattest person. You're up on the chopping block. That's the scenario.
How adamant are we that it's day 30 instead of 9 months and 30 days?
Well, the human body can only last 30 days without food.
Well, if it's 9 months and 30 days, we got to hold you back.
Well, it's day 30. So,
my vote would be babies first.
so make a scenario that's worse than that. Yeah, and you can
Worse
make a
than
scenario, yeah, and it doesn't have to do with you. You can say a meteor is about to hit the earth, like, because that's worse. Like, it's just make a scenario that's worse than you being on the chopping block for the cannibal menu.
Dogs have learned how to talk.
Whoa, what? That would be adorable. That's not a bad thing at all.
Imagine being like a pack of wolves or circling around where your like community is at, but they can communicate now.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that they're becoming like sentient.
Dogs have learned how to talk.
Okay. So, that I would say that is worse. Especially if like the predatory kind of dogs are now starting to coordinate.
Us, they can talk like us.
And you know for a fact they're going to be like military about it. They're going to be like, all right, Alpha, you go. Yeah.
Dogs are already pack animals.
Okay.
Wolves, they're hunting packs.
So
but now they know how to organize.
Okay, and I would say that's worse. So audit, thread the needle.
Did I finally get a good one?
You finally got a good one. Yes.
Yeah, you got a good one.
Damn, it only took me 5 months. Yeah, work on that audit.
So what's worse than being emergency food?
Now, for my scenario, you have not died yet.
Yeah.
It has not been officially decided. It has not been officially decided that you are on the chopping block or you're next, but people are thinking it. And so you could have the power of persuasion and be like, no, don't eat me, eat this person because more muscle or whatever. So whatever.
Yeah,
it's not my scenario. My scenario is not a death sentence yet. It's a possible death sentence. Gandhi's scenario, it means that dogs are may become like raptors where they're highly intelligent, can communicate, and they are basically militiaing together and about to go to war with the humanity.
Predators are now hunting you with organization.
That's terrifying, actually. So yes, that's definitely worse because I believe I could talk my way out of being eaten. I have a 50-50 chance of talking my way out of being eaten.
I'm gonna say being punched in the face with a cock.
I would rather be punched in the face with a cock than be on the chopping block. than being on the chopping block to be eaten on it. I'm gonna.
If it was being ripped apart by dogs or taking a mushroom stamp to the face, I'd rather get slapped by a giant dick.
He didn't even reach. He didn't even reach my level of severity, so he undershot. So Gandhi, you get a point.
Yeah, I undershot.
2 points.
It is now 2-4. All right, I'm gonna take a break for a second. I'll be right back. Give me about 5 minutes. Future Tim, edit this out.
Audit, I gotta ask, why did mushroom stamp become like your first go-to option?
The mushroom stance.
Like, is it something that's happened to you before, or something that you would just rather that be the thing? Like, I would rather get hit in the face with a cock than robbed.
Yeah, I'd say I'd rather get hit in the face with a cock. It's not from experience.
Well, I've been robbed before, and honestly, I agree with you.
I mean, like, if we thought about it, like,
I mean, I've been
what
shot
Tim
at, I've
said
been
was like,
stabbed, and honestly, I'd rather get hit in the face with a dick than ever go through that again. I think you're right, and I think he shortchanged you a point that you deserve. As a
but
guy
this
that's
is
never
like,
been robbed, and I mean, I've honestly never been hit with a cock, but I assumed it would be softer. I mean, nobody's gonna look at me and be
depends.
like, if anybody that was looking at my face would never be so rock hard that it would hurt me. I'm not that freak.
Imagine that though.
Yeah, wouldn't that be even worse? Like, what if the guy was so hard, like, God, like, am I that beautiful? And then it kind of makes me
Oh
look
my
back and wonder,
God.
what else could I have done in my career if I'd have just went into modeling instead of, or like gay porn? I could have been driving a Bugatti instead of getting robbed on the side of the street right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's not recording.
But-
These are hypotheticals I would never want to go through in public.
Well, thing is, like, it doesn't matter if it like undermines what like Tim undermining what I said. It like this is from his perspective what he would rather do than
I didn't imagine that you'd be so empathetic that you would be like, I wonder what the robber feels like.
imagine like getting robbed and then they just put their dick in your face afterwards as a fuck you. That would be worse. Oh, I should have just came up with that.
I mean, judging by your accent, like, I kind of imagine this is, I mean, not that you are from Australia, but like people from Australia that have similar accents. This is what kangaroos treat people like.
You have no
Like, they
idea how
drop
many
you and
jokes.
drop you in the water and then they just shove their dick in your face at the end of it, just so you know who the boss is.
You have no idea how many kangaroo jokes we make with Audit.
Yeah.
we say he's from.
Even though
I
I'm
always-
not from Australia.
I say he's from
I mean, we
Alpakistan.
grew up watching like normal porn, but I assume that Audit grew up watching like, I guess what kangaroo porn mostly looked.
Llama porn.
Llamas are way too nice.
Llama just spitting on your face while it's fucking on top of you.
You're just on your
That's
knees,
crazy.
like hands behind you. You're just like spit on my face, and llama's like.
When I asked somebody to spit in my mouth, a llama's just going to spit in my face, not my mouth like I asked them to.
Oh, what the fuck?
Well, there we go.
Is this what you planned? Is this what you wanted, Tim?
Well,
This is what you got.
we're on a break right now. I might keep it. I don't know. I'll review it later.
It can't be worse than Kinsey and her heart on. So
Oh, that's true. That's true. So,
that was hilarious.
past PG-13.
so real quick, Gandhi, how are you liking the game so far? Like, is it super frustrating? Because I have a different game that we can switch
I
to.
don't mind losing for once.
Okay. I have a different game that we can switch to if this one's like not if you're not feeling it. But
Not till this one is over.
okay, we'll keep it this one. All right, so back to the podcast, everybody. So
Welcome back.
they just canceled your favorite TV
And
show,
on-
and
Hi, welcome back. I don't mean on my back. I know that's happened a few times since this podcast started, but
so they just canceled your favorite TV show. Chris or Gandhi, go.
I thought that happened when Tim Irwin died.
Whatever your favorite TV show is, they just canceled it. Now give a worse scenario, but only slightly
Oh,
worse.
it's sorry. I thought. Never mind. All right, go ahead.
I am very like entertained and also intrigued at how I know you're a smart person, Gandhi. I know you're a very intelligent
you really
person.
know what kind of porn I
But
watch.
I am intrigued at watching this just twist your brain like a rag trying to be wringed out. And you're just like, what does it mean?
I feel more like a blanket that somebody slaps against the edge of their fence trying to get the dog hair off of.
I think you're starting to get it. I really do. But do you feel like you've gotten it now?
I'm ready.
Okay. So the scenario is your favorite TV show just got canceled. That's it. So, Gandhi, now make a slightly worse scenario.
My favorite TV show was porn, and I live in Texas.
I'm going to allow you to do a
So they
different
got
one.
rid of porn.
Oh, wait. So they got rid of. Oh, wait.
Slightly worse.
So you're saying they got rid of porn, and for some reason you live in Texas, and that's relevant.
Because they canceled porn in Texas.
Oh, you're right. They did. Oh, yeah. Pornhub did
Yeah,
like
so
a
I
whole
think
like
it's possible.
ban.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you can't get on that, what, like YouPorn or whatever the Pornhub. That's what it was.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask.
You can't do porn in Texas anymore.
I'm gonna ask that you're a little more specific next time.
My favorite TV show has porn, and I live in Texas. So
Okay.
it's slightly worse.
You know what? I would say that's slightly worse because TV shows get canceled all the time. If
Yeah,
all
I
of
understand
porn
what it was. It
was
might be
just
my favorite TV show.
banned,
And it
I
doesn't
think the-
necessarily mean that I'm watching porn. It's just my show that has porn, and it's in Texas. So
okay.
slightly worse. Get it after it. Audit.
If all of porn was canceled, I think the world would break. So audit, thread the needle.
I would say, yeah, I would say getting dirt on your new white shoes, brand new white shoes.
Oh,
Oh.
like my Air Force Ones.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of get them that
So-
one. That would
so-
fucking infuriate me.
The way that I'm going to judge these is I'm going to basically make it personal and be like, okay, what if that happened to me? So first scenario was mine, meaning if my favorite TV show got canceled, which right now it's
No major specifics.
the anime, the Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah, me and you, once we get off this podcast, I've got a whole thing I want to talk to you about that show because I absolutely fucking love it.
What is it?
Apothecary Diaries?
Yeah, we can talk about. How about we talk about it after the rounds are over? And it
Well,
can be
just
part
after
Yeah.
this podcast is that? I definitely want to talk to you about that show because I love it. I think it's amazing.
I do too. I think it's awesome. I think it's
Let's
got.
not use that as the basis for this competition because I'm trying to win another goddamn point.
Okay, we'll stay on topic then. All right, and I'm sure Audit doesn't want to hear about it. So, all right. So my favorite TV show got canceled. I keep saying Apothecary, the Apothecary Diaries, Apocalypse, the Apothecary Diaries. I would be pretty bummed if I bought new
And
shoes.
Porn. Mine was that porn is canceled,
Gandhi.
but my favorite show is in Texas.
Please don't interrupt me. So I'm gonna edit out like all interruptions. And so where was I? Oh yeah. All right. And so if my new shoes that I just bought got dirt on them, that would be worse than the scenario I got. So Audit passed that. And then if all of porn was canceled, I would say getting shoes dirty is less severe. So Audit definitely thread that needle.
You're gonna give him the point. Dirty shoes over losing porn.
Well, dirty shoes is less severe than losing porn.
Do you wear more shoes or do you watch porn more often?
I don't wear white shoes enough, but I actually don't wear shoes enough. I wear sandals all the time, and I'm barefoot a lot in my gym.
And I wouldn't admit that I watch porn on my podcast as often as you want.
Well, I'm thinking of a world I'm thinking more of like an altruistic view. If porn was banned everywhere, I think the world would break. I think the world would fall apart. Stocks would drop. People would be less productive.
Because mine is too severe.
Like the apocalypse would happen just because all of porn was banned, and then the world just ends. We go into the dark ages.
Can I have a rebuke?
Absolutely.
He has all of his nice shoes. I would argue that all of your socks are always down.
What?
You have a broken dryer, and no matter how nice your shoes are, your socks are always down.
Oh, are you wanting to do like host around?
That's my rebuttal.
Oh, you're saying can you have another like a change your scenario?
No, just one more rebuke against what he just said. He gets his nice shoes, but your socks are always down.
Sure. Audit still gets the point.
He can have the point. I just want the win on this.
Well, okay, sure. Audit gets the point though.
All right. 5-2.
All right, so this is gonna be the final scenario, and I'm not sure how this podcast episode went as an episode. I'm gonna have to listen to it later on, but you know, I had fun doing these. I hope you guys had fun playing these.
A hilarious way to spend my afternoon.
Okay, nice. All right, so the last scenario. You get arrested for, hold on, I'm deciding between two of them. Okay, you get arrested for Grand Theft Auto.
Again.
No, I'm sorry. 1 second. You get arrested and get a DUI.
Let's not pick a felony one of us have already had.
So you get arrested and get a DUI. I need Audit, you're going first. Make a slightly worse scenario. Oh, by the way, so you're in New Zealand. If you get a DUI, if you have a car-related job, you get fired. In a lot of jobs, you get fired if you get a DUI. You get your license suspended. You go to jail.
This is the weirdest fucking American description I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, that's basically.
I mean, it's not wrong, but I mean, it's just weird to hear like an American trying to tell other people this is what happens to you.
And you have to pay thousands of dollars.
You can also still get elected president, though.
Oddly, yes. You have to pay thousands of dollars, and you have to get your license reinstated. You have to go to classes. You have to go to AA. You have to go to like driver's safety courses, and Yeah, it's a whole it's a whole thing.
Like, probation thing you have to go through for like 6 months. If you fuck up enough times, you even have to have breathalyzers on your cars.
Yeah,
Also have those.
it follows you for years.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do DUIs in New Zealand.
All right, so now that you've done the build up, explain your scenario.
Otto, what were you gonna say?
I don't think DUIs are that extreme over here because people are still drinking under the influence.
Oh, people still do it here.
So, no, I know, but like it seems like more people are doing it now, which means that then they're not really being harsh on it. I don't know why.
History lesson: America is one of the first countries that had interstate systems where we built roads to interconnect our entire country. So the process and the management of people that operate on those roads are a huge thing. The idea of jaywalking came up because cars lobbyists started back in the 1913s when cars were kind of becoming a thing and kept running over people. Lobbyists for the car companies started blaming jaywalkers, people that were walking in front of cars, for getting hit by cars instead of the car companies having to pay out for the fact they were running over people.
What? Okay.
We are a very inter-car committed country, and it's bred into the blood of what the USA is.
So, Audit, what happens when somebody gets a DUI in New Zealand?
Pretty much get a slap on the wrist, and then
Really?
yeah.
That's insane.
I mean,
that's insane compared to what's here.
If you were related to a cop.
That's insane to what happens here, dude. Like it ends your life basically. Like you're
If you're related to a cop, you don't get that shit.
Yeah, well, my dad's a lawyer, so I that helped too.
Or a lawyer.
That's actually something I don't think a lot of people in our community know about that. And my dad's a defense attorney, and I should have gone to jail so many times in my childhood, in my adolescence.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, you went on way more before you took me on my first one.
So yeah. All right. So the scenario was you get a DUI, you get arrested and get a DUI. Audit, you have to make a slightly worse scenario.
You completely made him uncomfortable in this. Yeah, Audit, that's you first, bro.
DUI. I would say
in America.
No, let him use the New Zealand version.
Okay, all right. DUI in New Zealand. Make a worse scenario.
Worst scenario. Fuck.
Worse than a DUI for you.
I'd say that would be. Oh wait, for me. Fuck. I was thinking about the community.
No, it's gonna have to be for America because I'm gonna be the judge of if it's worse or not, or if he undershoots, and so I don't know the severity in New Zealand. So
that's all you know.
So worse than a DUI in America.
To your understanding, I'll be nice about it. Whatever you think would be worse than that. But slightly worse, as Tim says.
Being put in prison when you were though you were innocent for murder.
Okay, so wrongly convicted.
Yeah, wrongly convicted. That's
and going to prison. Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely worse.
That is definitely worse.
All right, Gandhi.
Yeah, that's an easy one to undershoot.
Can you thread the needle between DUI, which is a bunch of probation, it's all the bullshit, and then being wrongly convicted? By the way, Audit, how many years are you wrongly convicted? Is it life, or because that matters?
I think you could pick anything, though.
Yeah, I'd probably say a life sentence.
Life sentence? Okay. All right. So I would. All right. So life sentence, wrongly convicted, you're in prison forever. DUI. Gandhi, go in between.
So between a DUI and getting wrongly convicted for life.
For life, dude. You escalated that.
I don't want to be that topic because that's going to be great, and I don't want to bring up anything political about it. Let's just say tax fraud.
What about tax fraud?
Convicted of tax fraud.
Well, did you do it? Are you guilty? Are you going to jail? Like,
Guilty of tax fraud.
you're
Like
guilty.
not Meryl Streep kind of shit or whatever our president's doing, but like just tax fraud.
How many years?
The average is 7.
7. Okay. You know what? Yes.
That's what Meryl Streep got.
you
That's what
100
Snoop Dogg got.
you 100% thread the needle. You get the point for that round. Hell yeah.
He gave me a wide berth.
God dang. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little speed round, and it's a different game completely. All you have, the first one to do a worse scenario than what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do 3 of them real fast, and the first
it's
one to
just
say a
like-
worse scenario, they get the point.
Is
That's
this fast action the first one to respond?
Yes. Okay, so getting shot in the shoulder.
Wait, we gotta understand. You have to give us an alert, something like, "This is my scenario. Now go."
Well, no.
Like rock, paper, shoot. You gotta let us know when we can respond.
Okay, so I'm gonna say a scenario. I'm gonna stop talking, and then I'll say go, and then whoever comes up with the worst scenario first.
After go.
Just because you talk first does not mean that's the worst scenario.
No,
So-
just after go means we can respond.
But if you can't go apocalyptic, so that is going to be your ceiling. You can't go like meteor hits the earth and explodes for every single answer, because that's going to be worse than everything that I'm going to say. So as long as you don't go apocalyptic,
Something within 5 words of one sentence.
it doesn't matter. So just whatever the scenario is. Okay, getting shot in the shoulder
Okay.
with a 9mm. Go.
Getting cut in the abdomen.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Kinda gets the point. Audit, do you understand the assignment?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what
got it.
happens? What happens if he
We don't give you that
undershoots?
point because we'll call that one a practice round.
Is that automatically my point, or are we still fighting for it?
You're still fighting for it. I ignore everything except for a worse scenario.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
whichever
if-
one of us comes up with a phrase or a situation first, or whichever one of us, as soon as we respond, whichever one is worst. That's
Yeah.
what we're going for.
Except for apocalyptic. If it's apocalyptic, then I ignore that too.
Yeah, overshooting.
Right. Alrighty. So next one. Your girlfriend dumps you.
My girlfriend
Getting hit
dumped
with
me
a car.
for my dad.
Getting hit with a car. Audie gets the point. I would much rather, oh my god. I do not want to get hit by a car. That would kill me.
Did we even hear what mine was?
I did not.
My girlfriend dumped me for my dad.
Oh, that is worse. Okay, so
So
next,
you just avoid that round.
Audit got it out first, so Audit got the point.
My car is worse than dumping you for your dad.
Well, no, I'm not comparing your guys's. I'm just whoever's worse than my scenario. Okay, so
Personal choice. Okay.
okay,
We're preaching to the judge then.
yes,
Hmm.
tripping and falling into a bunch of cactuses or cacti.
Walking on fire.
Walking on fire? What does that mean?
Literally walking on fire.
Walking while you're on fire.
Working with a judge.
No, not on. Not on. Oh, actually, yeah. you're-
Walking on fire. Okay, so you're walking on fire. Actually, I would rather
Yeah.
walk on fire than
Mine
trip
was
into a bunch of
tripping in front
cactuses.
of a judge.
Really?
Tripping in front of a judge.
Yeah, like in court.
Tripping in front. Oh, that's not good. That has 0 consequences. I would still rather trip in front of a judge than
Clearly, you've
fall
never
into
done
a
it.
bushel of cactuses, cacti.
I give it to him. I think he wins that one.
Well, no, neither of you. This is still open. I'd rather do both of y'all scenarios than fall into a bushel of cactus. Keep going.
Walk on glass.
Walking on glass. Now that's worse. Because you will have fucking glass shards all up in. You will have. You'll be. Oh my god, pissing glass. Jesus Christ.
Pissing glass.
That would have won too.
If you ever had kidney stones, you know what it feels like.
Okay, so that was the last one. I'm gonna wrap it up here. For the game, we can do outro talk. But Audit's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, and Gandhi is at 3. Now
I got 3.
Yes, you got 3.
I didn't know I had 3. I thought it was 6-2.
Nope, you got 1 during the speed round.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that the game. I know there was a little bit of bumps in the road. I know that the game was a little wonky, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Oh wait, I realize what that means now. Since I won, I have to make up a topic, right?
Yep. Yep. Agreeing to do the podcast means that you're at risk of winning, and you have to host the next podcast.
Oh shit!
I lost in New Zealand, just like Lord of the Rings.
Everyone listening from New Zealand, Audit is representing your country, and he won the competition. New Zealand gets the win. Goal!
Go!
Remember that it's not that Lord of the Rings got filmed in your country. It's that the person that laid the land speed record for the world's fastest motorcycle was from New Zealand on an Indian Scout.
Right. Audit, do you have a...
You didn't know that?
No, we. Oh, I really look at sports.
In the salt flats of America, but it was a New Zealander that laid the land speed record for the original land speed record for motorcycles.
Huh.
Yeah, no,
It was a New
I don't know.
Zealander.
Well, that's cool.
There's actually
That's
a
the thing.
movie with Anthony Hopkins where he plays the guy that does it.
I think it's just because we don't really watch motorsports. We're more watching UFC fights and rugby.
It's ironic because some of the best, especially not just like GP, like motorcyclists, some of the best land speed record holders for like Formula One are also New Zealanders.
Oh, I know about the Formula One part because me and my dad watch it.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Sometimes.
you are the breeding ground of some of the best motorsports, just drivers that have ever existed.
Audit, did you know that I used to play rugby for my college, UWF, nationally?
I did.
You did? How'd you know that?
Because you already told me.
Oh, it's one of my proudest moments in life because I really love playing rugby. It's actually one of the first time I was able to like manhandle people, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I like this. And then I went to corrections.
But
And,
as being big enough to do rugby like Tim was, I was on the wrestling team.
Now
1v1, I can manhandle somebody. I just couldn't handle a whole team because I wasn't as big as Tim was.
on rugby, you would be a winger, somebody that's light and nimble and can run.
I can catch and run the ball. I just
Yeah.
couldn't hit anybody as hard as you.
Yeah, so you would have been a winger, the person on the edge of the field, trying to run up the edge, and as soon as danger happens, you would have thrown it backwards or side past it.
Yeah, laterals.
So you're pretty much the last man to get the ball, which usually ends up getting the
Yeah,
goal anyway.
I weigh in about 160, 165, so I would be the smaller guy on the team.
Oh yeah. All right, so Gandhi, would you like to give a loser speech to the audience, gracefully bowing out?
Absolutely. I do not think that I lost. I think that I just bowed out gracefully so that somebody else who is a very gracious young man with a beautiful accent and somebody I'd like to flirt with every now and then. I'm pleasantly surprised that somebody outsmarted me as I would allow them to. Now, this was an absolutely fantastic way to spend my evening. I love being a part of this podcast. I love spending time with you, Tim. And Audit, it's always a pleasure being with you. Can't wait to see you in Rocket League, man.
And Audit winner
I mean, we
speech.
can play Rocket League after this.
I'm already logged in.
And
logging in.
okay, well, Audit, would you like to give a winner speech?
Nice
Great.
getting
I would like
Either gracefully or ungracefully accepting your trophy.
First of all, I would like to thank all the kangaroos out there that's been supporting me on this channel. It's been really hard to get to this point of winning, mostly because I don't want to do the topics, but we won. We finally won. And I would also like to thank the people that came in here. Really good seeing you as always, Gundy, and thank you, Tim, for having us here today. Really fun, as always. But yeah.
Dude, SpongeBob just came out of the woodwork and said, I heard Rocket League.
Not forget the most important thing that happened. Audit learned if he gets a DUI in America, what would happen to him.